I have here a few cut up pieces of paper and a ruler. And if I take my ruler and I wave it over the paper, I see nothing interesting. The paper stays still and my ruler is just swaying back and forth, much like we would expect if I told you about this before I did it. Now, I am going to rub this ruler with some fur, and perhaps there might be a different effect when I sway the ruler over the paper. Let's see. Ooh. The paper starts to stand up a little bit. So there's some motion. And to get something moving from rest means that something is accelerating, meaning that there's a force here. Let's talk about that. All right. Let's say that I have two rods. I've got this neutral rod, and when I say neutral, I mean that there's an equal number of positive charges as negative charges. Let's give it, 6. So this is neutral, and this is a negative rod, meaning that there are some more electrons over on this rod, negative rod. And what do I know about this? Let's put all of my electrons here. I'll put 3 positive charges. Okay. So what would happen to these two rods? Well, I'll label them A and B just so this is easier to talk about. If I fix this negative rod into place, meaning it can't move, and the neutral rod is brought close, I'll see that the neutral rod is polarized. So the configuration then turns to this. I still have the same number of positive charges and negative charges, but they rearrange themselves. So in the neutral side, the positive charges want to move towards this negative rod. So I have 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The overall charge is still net neutral, but now I still have this negative charge rod that's fastened in place. Now the rod will start to move towards the negative rod. There's some force that's pulling this thing that way. Even though this thing is still neutral, it is now polarized and feeling an electric force towards that negative fixed rod. And we know by Newton's third law, of course, that that rod must be feeling a force that way, but it is fixed in place. So let's talk about that. Let me just capture those thoughts. Rod A moves toward B. So rod A must accelerate if it's at rest, which means that rod A feels a force. And I'm going to define that force to be the electric force. Okay, let's talk about that.